All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your total eclipse horoscope for Monday, the 14th of December 2020 at 11:17 a.m. We have a total solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. All right, the south node is at 19 degrees 46. Let me show you the chart here. Let me show you what we're talking about. Okay, so a new moon or a full moon within 18 degrees of the south node or the north node is what determines an eclipse. Okay, this is the ecliptic. All right, the nodes. And the south node is where we were in the past. The north node is where we're headed. Okay, so we have Mercury conjunct the north node here as well, just 3.5 degrees apart. We have the sun and the moon here at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. All right, so this is a lot of energy connecting with the south node. The south node, again, is about our past. This is letting go and releasing energy to where we've been so we can focus our energy on where we're headed, right? It's like if we're carrying out, if we're still carrying, trash around from yesterday, if we, we're like Santa Claus here, we just got these bags of yesterday's garbage that we're carrying through with us, it's going to be very hard to collect the new gems of our future. It's going to be hard to pick up the objects that spark our attention and want to go in this new direction with when we're carrying so much baggage from the past. Okay, in a very simplistic way, that's what this node, the south node total solar eclipse is all about, is releasing energy that's blocking us from attaining the life of our dreams, right? And when we have, an opposition of anything, we see our opponent directly in front of our face. We have no energy here. Like a sesqui-square or a quincunx. This would be, the energy that's like, it's hard to see. Or here we have, it's like, okay, this is my direction. This is my path. The north node here in Gemini. Okay, north node in Gemini, the ruling planet of Gemini would be Mercury, here next to the south node as well. Okay, so this, this is a supercharged total solar eclipse, okay, because of all of the elements that are going on. Let me try to help break this down. The sun, there is nothing in the sign of Leo, okay, to reflect the sun's energy. The moon, there is nothing in the sign of Cancer that's reflecting the moon's energy. Okay, the north node here, the nodes are all about the eclipses, about the nodes. Okay, again, the north node energy in Gemini is telling us to seek our own path, seek our own truth, to be honest and authentic with who we are, that there are two sides to every coin. There's a right, there's a wrong, there's an up and a down, there's a truth in the lie, and there's a lie in the truth. Okay, and it's up to us to discover this and for us to be our own unique individual selves. Okay. Now, the south node here, what we're releasing is an idea that we have to be a certain way, that we have to look a certain way, that we have to be, hey, if I'm a yoga person, I have to look like this. If I'm the spiritual person, I have to look this way. If I'm an athlete, I have to look this way. If I'm a UFC fighter, I have to look this way. If I'm a teacher or a historian or whatever, we have these concepts in our mind that, there's this, this is how a thing looks, and this is where we're headed. And I'll be honest, this eclipse that's happening right now is a foreshadow into where we're headed when Saturn and Jupiter enter the sign of Aquarius, because there's going to be a lot of energy thinking like we need to fit in a certain way, that we need to look a certain way and be a certain way to fit in, okay? And this particular eclipse is highlighting and rewarding those who have stayed true to themselves in their own unique path, okay? That's a huge aspect of this eclipse. Again, following our own truth, following our own authenticity, releasing whatever it is that's going on. If it's an outside source that's telling you how you should be and what a human being should be, what a woman should be, what a man should be, what a mother should be, what a father should be, what a brother or a sister or a lover should be, it's like we have to determine and rule out our own truth, okay? And that's the whole beauty of the north node in the sign of Gemini. So again, the ruling planet of Gemini is going to be Mercury. Mercury is very tightly conjunct the south node during this new moon total solar eclipse, okay? And these are about new beginnings, right? New moons are about new beginnings. And the eclipses are Uranian supercharged energy. Uranian being that breakthrough rebellious energy, Uranus and Taurus here, breaking the tradition. Breaking the tradition. Now, so we have this stellium here in Sagittarius, and what's the ruling planet of Sagittarius? Well, that's going to be Jupiter, right? And Jupiter here in Capricorn. Jupiter here in the 10th house, if you will. If you look at the chart, just kind of 0 degrees of Aries. This is about career and public image, how people view you. Okay, when it comes to the push comes to shove, how are you handling yourself? How are you handling yourself as a position of authority, a human being of authority, or a position of power? How are you handling yourself as being the boss kind of energy, right? So it's letting go of this self that we're not strong enough, that we can't be that authoritative figure in our own lives. Okay, so this is a reward. This total solar eclipse is a reward. It's letting go. It's dropping those bags. It's dropping the weight. It's putting that stuff down, and it's entering and coming into our true selves. All right? Following that truth, following, again, that sense of authenticity, seeking what makes sense for me in my life. And if it doesn't make sense for me in my life just because it made sense for you and your life, that's perfectly fine. Okay? I'm being rewarded, right? The universe is rewarding us for being our own unique, weird selves, okay? Which is very powerful. So again, back to Jupiter being the ruling planet of Sagittarius, caught there between Saturn and Pluto in a sign that it doesn't like to be. Okay, now this all correlates together because of how much energy is in the sign of Sagittarius. So we have this wanting to expand, wanting to believe, wanting to have faith, wanting to seek knowledge, okay? Not just any knowledge, seeking higher knowledge, okay? Seeking truth. And we can do this by the vat of information that others have put out there. And again, this is part of deciphering what truth works for you, because this book can say, to be a successful individual, you need to schedule your day every 15 minutes to know how to live your life successfully. And it's like, that again will work for this person. And over here, you're going to have somebody that says, throw away the agenda and live freely. It's just like, again, seeking what works for you and having faith that it's all going to work out. No matter how much lack of abundance or abundance is in our lives during this time, it's important with that Jupiter being in Capricorn only for another couple of weeks. Sandwiched between Pluto, which is about change and transformation, and Saturn, which says make things real. Let's solidify it and add pressure to our lives and our existence to make things happen and bring things into perfection. And Jupiter is like, this energy of wanting to expand and be happy-go-lucky, and it's caught between the two most intense, with the exception of Uranus, Pluto and Saturn are very, very intense planets. Okay, they have a lot of gravity, especially Saturn, right? Now, on both Jupiter and Saturn, it rains diamonds. That's the kind of atmospheric pressure those planets have. It rains diamonds, right? That's wild to think about, that kind of pressure. Okay, and Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system. It's about joy, being big and happy, raining diamonds. It rains diamonds. How cool is that, right? About being joyful, being happy. Okay, and can we be joyful and happy when there's a ton of pressure in our lives? Can we be joyful and happy when there's so much change happening in our environment that we truly don't know what's coming around the bend? We don't know what's happening. This is an interesting time to be alive. Very interesting time to be alive, And it's like this energy is all kind of shifting and ending right now. At the end of this year, on the 21st, 20th, 21st, as the Jupiter and Saturn are leaving Capricorn. Okay, it's very, very powerful. Again, Saturn finally getting out of its home place, and Jupiter finally leaving the place that it doesn't like to be the most. Okay, so it's like, can we find joy, abundance, and beauty in doing the things or being in the places that we like the least in our lives? Yes. The answer is yes to that question. And it's about how hard are we willing to work for that? How hard are we willing to work for this bite? How hard are we willing to seek our own path? It's like, again, when we march to the beat of our own drum, we find other people that are also in that same space, in that same vibrational space. And we can feel very alone during the time where we haven't found our other drummers, our other bandmates, our other, people on that same vibe or on that same frequency. And again, this energy is reminding us and reflecting, saying to stay true to yourself, to not jump ship just because this is a popular opinion, or to go into this group of thinking, very specifically going to this group of thinking because that's what your peers think. It's just like we're above this. We're matured enough beyond that. And that's part of the beauty of all of this energy in Sagittarius, because it is about the higher thinking. It is about the higher education, the higher knowledge, the person who studied and done the research, that guru, the well-researched, doctor, physician, whatever it may be. This is someone who's sought the knowledge out to decipher the difference. And that's another aspect about this too, is this, with all of this energy in Sagittarius, we got the horse body, man top. You know what I mean? So it's just like there's no mountain that you can't cross. There's no river you can't cross. There's no terrain that's too rough that you can't get beyond, All of this energy is saying whatever information you seek is available for you. It's at your fingertips. Whatever you want to expand to become is available for you to expand, for you to absorb the knowledge. It's just like you eat a carrot. It's like that's so funny. You feed a baby too much carrots, they start to turn orange. It's like, it's a perfect example. Like what we consume in our bodies and in our brains has a very powerful effect on it, a very physical and visible effect on us. And the information that we're sucking in through our skull, through our eyes, through our ears, right? This has an effect on us. Now, we might not turn yellow or orange or blue or pink, when we've, read something that's expanded our minds, but we carry that information with us and it becomes a physical attribute in our bodies, right? So it's saying there's nothing that's off limits right now. If you want to seek this knowledge, if you want to seek something out to absorb and to learn this and to bring joy into your life, do it. Don't hold back. And it's okay to not fit in. Like, this is the best time in life to not fit in, right? We're going to have so much Uranian, Aquarian energy, which is like the oddball of the zodiac. My Mars is in Aquarius. Okay, I'm born on a lunar eclipse, so I'm familiar with the Uranian energy. But nonetheless, it's like the oddball, the person that doesn't fit in right now is like the person that's going to be the, So don't be afraid if you're like, I feel like the outcast. All right, outcast, you're going to be the superstar. You're going to be the hero, the star of the show here, whether you want to be or not. People are going to start looking at you and being like, how did you manage to get through all of this with that? And anyway, so there's nothing off limits. There's nothing you can't obtain to bring joy, peace, happiness, abundance, beauty, love into your life, and it's a whole new chapter. Okay, as we're ending this eclipse season, because we've got a full moon here in 2 weeks, but it is so close. It is just so close to being an eclipse, but it's not. And it's on my birthday on the 29th of December. Woo! Anyway, all right, my friends, this is our eclipse energy. This is a positive new leaf that we're turning, a positive new page. It's letting go and releasing and moving into the direction that our hearts desire of truth and authenticity. All right, I feel like I've repeated myself a few times there, but I just want to hammer out that message. This is really powerful. This is a really beautiful total eclipse. All right, we don't get this kind of stuff all the time, and this is such a huge energy because there's mental blocks. This deals with our mental blocks. And where someone in our life has said, like, I went through years of my life not singing. Because when I was a little kid in elementary school, that's how old this dated back for me, when I was in elementary school, that I kept wanting to sing. Because my heart wanted to sing. I wanted to sing. I enjoyed the feeling of singing. But my voice wasn't good enough. Fair enough. So the choir teacher kept dismissing me. And it's, no, it's no good. So I lived from a elementary school at, a little kid, all the way until I was 33 years old, afraid to really sing. Afraid to sing. And a powerful eclipse and a message came to me, and then, it really was, though. It was through eclipse season, and insight came in that was just like, sing. Who cares about what your teacher in third grade said? Sing. And now I'm, doing cacao ceremonies and singing all in these events, it's just like it was that little block from so long ago that I didn't even realize I had in me until I sat with myself and meditated, and like, what is going on? I want to sing. I want to be free. I mean, that's just a little personal thing with me, but sometimes that's what this can be. This can be this little tiny thing from so long ago that has been a wall. It's been in our brains that we just couldn't get around. And now it's like we're taking the sledgehammer. That's the beauty of the eclipse energy. The Uranian energy is it's the wrecking ball coming in and just destroying the foundation, whether it was real or not. So happy Wrecking Ball Day, my friends. Happy eclipse. I love you. I wish you enough, and we'll see you tomorrow.